want to be remembered? And I thought his answer, of course, was just perfect. He goes, I want to be remembered as being a good teammate, respected by all the coaches and my peers. I want everybody to know I love the game of football.
And the Denver Broncos have taken Super Bowl 50.
Beer, Broncos, and
Hello
no BS.
again, Broncos country.
Welcome
Really
to
excited
Beer,
to chop up some
Broncos,
Broncos.
Orange Weekly. No politics, just football.
Rockin' on since an early age. Now since 97, I ain't miss a game. Came up with TD and Rod Smith. I was riding with the team when they got the chip. Before the Chevrolets and the Lobster. I remember Elway's helicopter. I'm telling you, that man was a monster. Way before he had his hands on the roster. He turned the Broncos to a powerhouse. So you know I got a shout out to Johnny Elway. He important, man. He the reason that I'm always rocking on his man. Always gotta rock orange, that's just how I roll.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another weekly edition of Orange Weekly After Dark. And don't worry, just because the Broncos continue to lose does not mean we at Orange Weekly will stop winning. Joining me again tonight is Kevin, Read My Football Book Scangarello, Dandino. Welcome to the show, Kev. And as usual, let's get your quick synopsis here.
I just want to drink every time you introduce me because it's always like the lamest thing ever.
That's just hurtful.
Anyway, synopsis. Holy crap. We got a lot to talk about. The Broncos seem to be in a total disconnect between the coaching staff and the players. There's a little bit of conspiracy theory running around right now. I'm sure we'll talk about that. Joe Flacco throwing the entire coaching staff under the bus without any hesitation during the post-game press conference. And the day after that, he is out for this next week. And Jason, with you being the expert on injuries, we'll get your take on that, I'm sure. But man, questions got to start coming in terms of, what's going on in the locker room. What kind of divide is there any kind of divide? Is it a Joe Flacco only thing? Now with Emmanuel Sanders gone, dude, there's a lot. There's just a lot, and it's not a lot of good things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough place to be. Like you said, a lot of disconnect between seemingly all parties from top to bottom, which is a tough place to be. But honestly, at this point, I would say not surprising place to be. This is a team that is now 2-6. We are now in our third losing season. We have yet to get back to the playoffs since the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. And I do believe that we have fully entered a rebuild mode. And whether John Elway will outwardly admit it or not, the signs are all over that he has embraced the rebuild. And with that comes a lot of discontent along a lot of parties, especially your veterans who have had success in previous years, whether it's with the Broncos or with other teams. It's never easy for your successful veterans to be part of a losing team that is in a rebuild. And so I think that's where you've seen a lot of those issues come through and tempers boiling over it, like we saw with Flacco. And I'm sure we'll get into it a bit later. I don't discredit what Flacco said. Our entire staff at Orange Weekly had quite a conversation going yesterday. And I think my stance was pretty clear that, yeah, I don't think Flacco is innocent by any means. But I've been questioning the play calling since back when we were playing the Packers. Again, those similar voices between our staff were raising concerns with the Titans. And so for me, Emmanuel Sanders was addressing it before he got traded as well. And so again, Flacco by no means is innocent, but I think a true issue with the offense, the root cause from what I'm seeing stems from Scangarello and his inability to call plays well, or even a complete game well. I think Flacco's right. He's way too safe. We're not nearly aggressive enough, especially at the place we're at. If we're looking at last week's game, we're looking at a sliver of a chance at making the playoffs with Mahomes being out for probably 3 weeks. So, best case, if you say the Chiefs drop the next 3 games, if we were to win the next 3 games, we're right back in the mix. And obviously, again, that's a lot of things going right at that point, but that attitude was not embraced. We were once again found in a position playing not to lose the game. And when you're up by 1 point, you can only protect that lead for so long. It's only a matter of time before things break down, things don't go your way. And, play calling from the beginning, where I still don't agree trying 3 pass attempts when it's goal to go. I'm okay with 1 or maybe even 2. But with our running back duo, to me, it's inexcusable to use our greatest offensive strength when we are goal to go. So that right there, I didn't understand. I think I'm not sure, we might have to fact check this. I saw it in a tweet earlier today, but I think we're the only team in the NFL who is yet to score on a 2-minute drill. And that's because we never try to score on a 2-minute drill. And Flacco had that good point. In this game in particular, why not go for it? I mean, to try to keep them from scoring, 1, that's a bad attitude. And second of all, they got the field goal anyways. So why not be aggressive there? Who cares if they get the ball back with 1:40 left? They got the points anyways. At the end of the game, 3rd and 5. Why are we going with the most obvious and safe play when we can ice the game with 1 more first down? It's those situations that, for me, I don't understand and don't think I will ever fully understand. And so, yeah, there's the argument that Flacco needs to execute better. But honestly, part of those 3rd down conversions aren't on him at all. If you look at the ones we converted on, it was a pass play that he connected on. The ones we didn't, I don't have the full breakdown. I'd have to look at that. But the ones we didn't convert on were the safe run plays straight up the middle when they stacked the box, or the safe screen play where he's throwing a backwards pass and then our poor receiver tight end is facing the full-on defense when we're behind the line of scrimmage at that point. And so, yeah, those are the safe plays. We're probably not going to turn it over on those plays. But in the meantime, it also gets us nowhere. And with an offense led by Jacoby Brissett, who's been shown to be effective this year, we can't, for almost a full quarter, put the ball in his hands and totally rely on our defense to keep doing their job, which I thought they did a fantastic job. But there's only so much time that you can protect a 1-point lead in the NFL these days. And that's the attitude we try to play with, is let's just try to hold on to this 1-point lead. And sure enough, it bit us again.
Dude, you talked to a lot of different things, and you're not necessarily wrong. Yeah, we do have a lot of comments here. I think, where is it? Red Cloud, how you doing? Richard says he disagrees. Flacco can't execute most of the plays, and we're going to talk about this more tonight or tomorrow night on the Beer Broncos No BS show at 7 p.m. Mountain Time here on Orange Weekly. But also, he's right. I mean, look, I can't remember the last time I heard of a quarterback completely throwing the coaching staff under the bus. And you know what? I'm okay with his honesty, but the way he presented it, maybe it was just all the emotions he had at the time, was purely just, it's not my fault, it's their fault. And so as a quarterback, trying to show some humility, how hard would it be for him to stand and be like, look, I know I can be doing better. I'm not doing well on executing some of these plays. I'm making bad reads. I'm holding on to the ball too long. There are things I need to improve on. But also go into how the coaching staff and Scangarello have been playing too conservatively. That, I think, would be a completely different conversation. Okay, he's identifying an issue, and he's willing to stand up for his players and say, hey, this isn't working, but also we can be doing better ourselves. So, Richard, I'm kind of leaning towards what Richard is saying right now is, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good the play calling is. If you can't execute the plays, it doesn't matter. There's arguments on both sides.
Yeah, but here's the other thing is teachers only known Flacco for the amount of time he's been a Bronco. But if you look at his career, the time he spent with the Ravens, especially with the whole quarterback controversy they had last year, even the first part of this year, Flacco was not the kind of guy to call out other members of the organization or the team. He doesn't talk that way. He's usually very quiet. He tries to sweep things under the rug. He doesn't create controversy. He doesn't try to start fires or create conflict to take eyes off of him. And so the fact that he did that just shows how serious of an issue this is. We're not talking about Antonio Brown, who's just constantly throwing out stuff all the time just for the sake of causing issues. We're talking about a guy who, over the years, through all the issues that the Ravens had, the controversy they had last year between quarterbacks, the first part of this year, he doesn't do that. And so the fact that he did that at all, to me, should really raise alarms. And yeah, again, we can go back to he could execute better, but again, he can't. How is he supposed to execute in third and 5 at the end of the game when we put the ball in a running back's hand when the defense has totally stacked the box? What more is he supposed to do? And and we'll get into this a little bit. If he was playing this next week, I was about to say, if I were him, I would say, thanks for the input, Scangarello. I'm going to go Peyton Manning here. I'm going to call audibles all the time. I'm going to call what I want to call, because clearly you call is not being effective. I'll take your advice and we'll line up and we'll see what I think. But if I don't like the way it looks, we're changing the play. Unfortunately, he won't be playing this week, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But we'll be moving on to our next quarterback, who is Brandon Allen. So again, guys, post your comments about Flacco and your thoughts. That'll be heavily addressed during tomorrow's show, so I don't want to cover too much on it. But again, the fact of the matter, the absolute fact is Flacco has already been ruled out for the game against the Browns. The Broncos do not feel. For it.
I want this to be partly. I want to hear your medical side of this, because if you don't remember, and yes, Richard, you're freaking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. A injured disc in his neck. Okay, is that because the conspiracy right now? Obviously, we've all seen it. We've all heard it. Is look, Emmanuel Sanders calls out the team, calls out the coaching staff. He's gone. Joe Flacco, calls out the coaches. The very next day, he's ruled out with this kind of injury, because we did see him sitting on the bench, kind of getting his neck to work on in the game. So there is an injury. They're not just making this up. Is that something that is worthy of, on Monday being ruled out? Or is it something that normally a team would wait until maybe a couple days before, say, hey, he may not play. We don't know yet. Probably not, but we're going to wait just to see, and then be a game day inactive. or just, hey, you're not, you know what I mean? But it seems like he was injured and they had the perfect reason to be like, nope, you're out. So what's your medical take on that? And does it tie to this conspiracy theory at all, or just what's your idea there?
Yeah, as far as conspiracy theory goes, I find it entertaining. I think it is definitely coincidental. I think to fully prove it or disprove it, we need to sacrifice Chris Harris Jr. and have him call out the coaching staff.
Well, he has not. He's backed off. He's like, no, everything's fine.
Test the theory. Got to test the theory. As far as what he's dealing with, yes, I do believe it's a legitimate, not just a legitimate injury, but one that they are going to be quick to set him for. And the reason being, from what I've read, it is a disc herniation and in the neck. And so what that essentially means is throughout your spine, you have discs that layer in between your different spine bones. They serve as a cushion, kind of protector, so your bones aren't hitting on each other. And if you can think of them a bit like a jelly donut, they're round and they got a bit of a filling in the center of it. And what can happen is those can start to protrude, and that's when you have a bulging disc. Once that kind of jelly part gets all the way through, that's when it becomes a herniation, and that can cause a whole list of different issues. And especially around the neck area, you can have a whole assortment of different issues. And so for me, if you're the medical staff for the Broncos, you're seeing this team's 2-6. Why even take the risk of putting him in harm's way long term? And so I'm not surprised at all that they've already ruled him out, because it can turn into something more serious. Especially, I'm not sure which side it's protruding out of or what the actual symptoms he's dealing with right now. But if it's affecting his throwing arm, which it could be, obviously that's a reason to shut him down right away too. Instead of trying to have him play if he's having a hard time controlling the ball as quarterback needs to. So yeah, I as funny as the conspiracy theory is and how coincidental it is, I do, from what I've read and seen, I do agree with the decision to rule him out already. What we're going to do with him long term remains to be seen, but for the time being, he is a Denver Bronco, and so we need to protect that asset as long as he's under contract as a Bronco. And so for me, that means a couple more years. And so we got to be thinking about, if you're the medical staff where you're not involved in those personnel decisions, you got to be looking at taking care of Joe Flacco as a Denver Bronco through the rest of this season, get him ready so he's able to perform the next 2 years. And obviously just being a person, we want to make sure he's able to be functional down the road as well. So that's where they're at. I'm not surprised he's sitting, and
right.
Honestly, at this point, depending on how quickly it heals up, I wouldn't be too surprised if he does end up on the IR, as some reports are stating.
So this is why I kind of framed that question to begin with, because man, as soon as I saw a notification that Flacco was going to be out, he was ruled out today, all those theories started flying around. And I think it was people that understand how bad it could be, how bad that type of injury is. And you're right. He's still a Bronco. He's just getting paid, whether he's sitting on the bench or, whatever the case is, he's going to get paid. And it's some interesting stuff. One thing I'm seeing from all the comments, and guys, I'm sorry we're not getting to all your comments like we try to, but through all of them, I mean, let's see. Melissa is talking about, we need to protect Flacco. What about our kicker missing field goals? We're hearing things over here. I saw some others earlier. Failing to address the LT position. There's just, it's not just Scangarello. It's not just Fangio. It's not just Flacco. There's a slew of problems here that are almost everywhere. I think the defense out of everyone is the best, in terms of where we're at. But the offense especially. Look, in today's NFL, if your defense holds a team to 16 or less points, there is no good reason for you to lose that game. Absolutely none. So the fact that we can't, and I'll be honest, guys, look, this is, us here at Orange Weekly. This is a no, it's a no BS setting. Okay. We're up, we get the 13 points, which would normally look like a good lead. I wasn't, the whole game, I was like, I just don't feel good about this. And so now we're at the point where, at least me, I'm sitting here going, I'm just waiting for something to go wrong. And in the last 30 seconds, there it is. So I don't know, Jason, there's a lot going on, but it's tough to pinpoint. I don't think you can pinpoint what exactly the problem is.
Yeah, I think I think it's getting more and more obvious. The problem is within the offensive side of the ball. As far as who you pin that on, that's up for debate. Obviously, I think it's Gangarello. I think he's the first to go. If he's not fired by the end of this season, then I don't think he makes it to next year. The way we're going, I don't think our offense has gotten over 16 points in a game this year yet. Which, as you said yourself, if the defense holds you to under 16 points, then you should win that game. Well, every defense so far has held us to under 16 points. And so that could definitely be an explanation of why we're losing so much. At the end of the day, I'm becoming more and more impressed with this Fangio defense. I think they're starting to learn their roles a little bit more. And I think it's starting to show that Fangio on the is great. And the reasons so last season was because Fangio was there for a few years to build and establish that defense. And we're already starting to see some of those effects early on. I mean, we're halfway through a season and we're seeing compared to weeks 1 and 2 to where that defense is now. And that's something to be encouraged about as the Denver Broncos fan. One of the few things we have to be encouraged about. Outside of that, I mean, we're talking about how crazy this year has been. And I mean, the fact that 3 of our losses have come on when we were up by 1 or 2 points with less than 2 minutes. A personal foul penalty was called, whether you agree with that or not. That's just a fact. A penalty was called on those drives that prolonged the drive and ended up with us losing by that field goal. Which it's tough. I mean, I don't I wish I was an odds guy and statistics guy. I wish someone could tell me what the odds are that would happen 3 times in a season. I mean, we're not even just talking about losing it on a last minute field goal. We're talking about the personal foul that's called in there as well. It's like it's scripted at this point. Not saying it is, but it just has that feeling that, hey, we have less than a field goal lead with less than 2 minutes left. We're going to lose after taking a personal foul.
Or in this case, a no call.
Or I don't know if any of you saw the picture, but early in the game when we had them pinned in their end zone and they were able to get out of it, there was a missed holding call that should have been addressed, that should have been flagged. And if it was flagged, it would have been a safety, as that penalty would have occurred in the Colts end zone. And that could have been a game changer too. That's 2 more points that we get along with the ball back. And so who knows what would happen after that point. We still, at that point, would still only have 15 points, which wouldn't have been enough to win, but at least to go into overtime. So who knows? Kevin, I don't know what we got on your end, but we're getting quite a few comments streaming through on this end.
Yeah, I'm going to go and answer. Let's bring up this one really fast. William, I'm going to call him Bill, if you will. Our dad. I'll just go and say it. What's up, Dad? But he's right. He says, I put this on Elway and coaching staff. They've allowed team starts to age with no replacements in the wings. There have been undrafted players shining on other teams. The offensive calls are suspect. The secondary is weak. Elway can only look in the mirror. So, we're talking about the coaching staff. We're talking about the players. But, okay, I said earlier we can't pinpoint this. If you wanted to, probably the only way you could pinpoint something is to general manager and the drafts and the people we're bringing in. We've had such a bad record of bringing people in and then them being gone in a couple of years. I think I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. I'm incredibly thankful for John Elway to be able to bring in Peyton Manning, because that would not have happened without John Elway. And then everyone says, well, yeah, but John Elway built up that Super Bowl 50 defense so we could go and win that Super Bowl. Well, it's easy to build up an entire team when you have the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback of all time on your team. Everybody wants to come play with you. Every free agent. So you get the pick of the litter. You better be able to build a team when you can literally pick just about any freaking player you want. But now when you have to literally build a team from the ground up, that's where it really shows who's a good GM and who's not. And I'm sorry, but Elway has not shown me anything to make me say that he's a good GM, minus that one thing. Now, without that, we would not have Super Bowl 50, and that's awesome. I love that we got there. But if we're looking toward the future now, I just don't see a future with John Elway as the GM.
And that's where I disagree with you a bit there. Not so much in the Peyton Manning era, but I think it's twofold. I think you still building that team, but to me, what was most impressive is how he flipped the entire philosophy of that team in 2 years. In 2 years, he entirely changed the team from an offensive mind to defensive mind and was successful at it. And in that regards, I don't think we can give this much blame without giving him an equal amount of credit for the good. You can't take away all the credit from the good and then expect him to take 100% of the blame for the bad.
Sure.
That also being said, yes, he had, I would say, 4 years, terrible drafts and not great scouting. He has a bit of history, especially in those years, going after free agents who have an injury history. And I think part of that was to try to get a bit of a discount on them for their contracts. That being said, as far as not having any proof that he's succeeding or having anything that shows he's a good GM building a team back up, that's where I disagree. I think he has drastically improved over the past 2 years. If you look at the past 2 drafts, they are much better drafts all around. And again, I think he made the right call long term about Fangio. I think what we're seeing right now is a mix of those 4 bad draft years finally catching up to us, along with, I mean, face it, this team is at the bottom of the rebuild. If you think about teams and the cycles they go through, they don't go from here and then here. You got to think about it as a curve, right?
Sure,
it goes
sure,
down.
sure.
You find at some point you reach a bottom and you curve backwards up. And I think right now we're kind of at that bottom point. But I think he made the right coaching choice, and I can say that because again of how the defense has turned around under Fangio. And I mean, here's the facts here. We are entirely overhauled staff and scheme system within this past year. Full offense turnover since our last Super Bowl. Not a single player on offense remains from Super Bowl 50. We have the 3rd youngest roster in the NFL. All right. We currently have 7 picks in the first 2 days of this next upcoming draft. 7 picks in the first 2 days. On top of that, Sanders is gone. Chris Harris Jr., if he's not got by trade deadline, I doubt he's back for next season as free agent. I think Elway, again, has fully embraced, whether he'll admit it or not, that we're in this rebuild, and he's starting to take those approaches and next steps to rebuild the team. Again, this is a process. If we think about it, I mean, let's face it, and I said this yesterday in our discussion as well, 3 drives. If 3 drives go differently this year, we are a 5-3 team talking about playoffs. To me, that's how close we are. We're not there yet. Don't get me wrong. We are not there yet. We are very much a 2-6 team, but we're that close to being a 5-3 team and talking about playoffs. And that difference is going to make, this is why I still have faith in Elway, is I think this is the final offseason. He has to prove himself. If he has another successful offseason through the draft and through free agency, this team is a different team next year. Things start going our way. We get the calls going our way, and we're having a much different discussion 365 days from now. Okay. But again, rebuilds take time. We're not like it's not like we're the Browns of old who didn't win a single game in 3 years. You know, we're not at that point. I think we're at the bottom of a rebuild, and Elway has in the past 2 years started to do the right thing that take 2 to 3 years to start to see those results. And I think we're about 1 year away from seeing those results happening.
I'm hoping that by the end of the season, by this time next year, I can sit here and say I was wrong. My worry is, and maybe it's just me, but every time I think we've hit rock bottom, it gets worse. You know, this is going to be the first time, and hopefully we go on a winning streak or something. But if we were to have another losing season, it's going to be the first time since the Broncos were founded in 1960, where they had that first decade of being around where they had nothing but winless seasons. This is going to be the first time since then that we've had 3 winless seasons in a row. And so with Elway having 2 years on his contract left after this year, time's running out. The only way I could see Elway getting another contract extension is if that ownership dispute is still going on. I think if the Bolin daughter takes over, I can't remember if it's Brittany or Bethany. I always forget. The time she takes over, if we've had 4 losing seasons and maybe 1 8-8, I don't know. I just don't know. I do like Fangio. I do think that Fangio is going to keep getting better, but we're definitely lacking on the offensive coordinator. So I don't know how much time we give him. But if things don't improve by the end of the season, I could see him being gone. And now we are here with another new offensive coordinator trying to install his playbook and everything like that. So something we got to check. And guys, Bethany, thank you, Red Cloud. Bethany Bolin, I got to remember that. And I know guys are having some choppy stream right now, so bear with us. Appreciate you guys all watching. And Red Cloud is optimistic. Denver is a playoff caliber team, and that's what's frustrating. You're right, we're not far off. We're not far off at all. Juan asks, who is at fault? And Juan, I just don't know if you could. There's no way to sit here and say it's this person or it's these 3 people. It's just not that. So they're, everyone's frustrated, Jason, and with it being Denver, everyone is. Look, Denver fans have a high expectation for the team. That's just who the Broncos have always been since essentially 1970 on. But here we are, and it's a hard time. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to stop the shows. We're going to stop the podcast, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. It doesn't suck. And I hope this is the bottom. I hope we have hit rock bottom. But also I think I saw Corey Nelson. Corey Nelson is out for the season as well. So these injuries, look, maybe it's just, it's the season's not going anywhere. So it's not that bad of a thing versus, week 1, week 2. But I don't know, Jason. Yeah, Richard, yeah, the dog's upstairs. I know you can hear him from down here, but it's okay. He's a little friendly puppy. He just wants to say hi as well. He wants to be on the show. He's also very angry at the Broncos. But so anyway, Jason, those are some of my thoughts, man. It hurts.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think that's why, all things considered, this is a lost season. Obviously, we're not going to the playoffs at this point. I think mathematically we still can, but realistically, we're not going to the playoffs this year. So that's why it becomes a bit more of an evaluation of the current skill we have, the current talent we have, and what do we go after in the draft. And maybe that's, this is a very, very deep class for quarterbacks. So maybe it's going after a quarterback early on and having another quarterback competition come next year. Maybe it's, obviously we need to shore up the offensive line a bit more. And here's the thing. If you look at this whole thing on paper, it shouldn't be as surprising as I think a lot of Broncos country is shocked by. And what I mean by that is, again, a brand new coaching staff all over with a totally different scheme offensively and defensively. Coming off losing years where it's going to be harder to get free agents. On top of that, we're taking a risk on Flacco. And everyone knew at the beginning it was a risk with a lot of upside and not that much downside because, again, we're in a bit of a rebuild. So you obviously have contracts ending such as Sanders, Chris Harris Jr. I think Derek Wolf's contract is up after this year, a couple other important ones. But what I mean by that is, yeah, I think we all thought we'd be a little bit more competitive, but I don't think there was anyone in Broncos country who went into the season going, hey, we're winning the Super Bowl this year. Obviously, as fans, we're saying that, but realistically, that's not a realistic expectation going into this year. And again, calls haven't been going our way. We've had a lot of unfortunate injuries to big-time players this year, which sucks. And now, we had Jawan James back to that list, who I think he's gotten an MRI today. Or tomorrow.
I forgot about that. Good God.
Yeah, we got Hewerman, who left on crutches and a brace. Even Dalton Reisner left the facility in a walking boot. I'm not sure how serious that one is or not. But point being, we've had a lot of injuries to players we got in the offseason, too. You got to keep that in mind. Between Theo Riddick and Callahan, who I'm still not convinced is a real person. But point being, we got them in a free agency in the offseason to add to our team, and we haven't been able to because of unfortunate, untimely injuries. And so, and that's why I think Broncos country, if there's one thing that you want to even possibly gather from me, take a deep breath. The world is not on fire. Yes, it sucks right now. Yes, we are a 2-6 team, but we are not teams like the Cleveland Browns were.
Everything's fine. This is fine. It's all fine. We're all fine.
Yeah, it's going to get better. Again, I think if certain calls go our way this year, if certain injuries go a little bit better this year, I think it's a different conversation we're having right now, where it's still, do we make the playoffs or do we not, instead of this is a lost season. There's a lot to be, in my opinion, there's still a lot to be optimistic about. It's just hard to find those things. But again, it's going to be a big off season for the Broncos, and it's either going to make or break this rebuild. It's either going to set us back another 5 years, or we're going to start to see the upswing of the rebuild, and Elway will get to keep his job in a couple of years because of it. So it's a big, well, I love the meme, by the way. It's going to be a big off season. But I agree with who said in the comments, maybe Red Cloud, that we're a competitive team, that we are right there. And that's why it's so frustrating. But again, keep in mind, nobody entering this season thought we were going to the Super Bowl. And if things just go our way, if that luck is just a little bit more towards the Broncos, we're a 5-3 team, not a 2-6 team. So we're there. I think we're one more good off season away from getting back into the mix of things, and then about two more years from being a competitive playoff team, assuming Elway does what he did the past 2 years of having a solid draft and solid free agency period.
There's a lot of work to be done, and Samuel says Elway's time is out. Says he hasn't felt this disgusted, and he's been a Broncos fan, since we got Elway. Yeah, Larry says Dalton Risner is the only good lineman we have. Larry, I'm going to disagree with you. He says it's a waste of money on the lineman we got from Miami with Juwan James. But he's good. He was one of the better, right tackles in the league, if not one of the best. But with his injuries, we can't say it's his fault. It just really sucks that we paid this money for him, we got him, and again, Emmett has very strong feelings on this, as we can tell. Which is that's exactly what I want to say. Like, girl, you're kidding me, right? This is happening. Yeah, this is happening. Let's see what else. Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Why don't you dive into all the content we still have going on for the rest of this week and the rest of the season, what our fans can continue to look forward to on a day-to-day basis as we move out week by week through the rest of the year.
So what you're saying is it's ad time. Time for some ads, some Orange Weekly ads. Okay, guys. First off, if you're watching, if you just joined us, whatever. My name's Kev Dan. This is Jason. His show on Orange Weekly After Dark. Man, Orange Weekly, we got you covered. And if you're watching this show, you are one of the diehards, just like us here at Orange Weekly. You are welcome into this group of diehard fans that are going to be with us, win, lose, or tie, and we got you covered with all kinds of Broncos content, from a pregame podcast and a postgame podcast. Those are all found on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, whatever you guys want to use you like to use for your podcast. Odds are we're there. So just look for Orange Weekly there. Don't forget, we have this show Monday nights. We also have our Beer Broncos No BS show on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll be doing that tomorrow. We also have, Ray's Ragers. He is, at least before this last game, he was 19-10 on the season on his Broncos bets. So he's made some money. He's helped us at Orange Weekly make some money as well. So even if you're just not a betting man and you just want to see what Vegas is thinking for the day, that's a great little 5-10 minute show you can watch and just hear what Ray has to say about that. But also, if you want to make the same bets he is, odds are you're going to make some money more often than not. And we got our Broncos Brunch pregame show, 10 a.m. Mountain Time on Sundays. And then our halftime hash show is probably one of our more popular ones. As soon as halftime goes live, guys, pick up your phone. We know you already do that. As soon as halftime starts, what does everyone do? Man, we all pick up our phones, right? Well, when you do that, just click that notification that Orange Weekly is live. If you don't get the notification, go to our Facebook page. We are live every single halftime. And that way you can hear what our thoughts are. You can talk to us. We want to talk to you and hear your thoughts in the first half of the game. But man, we got you covered on pretty much every day of the week, even if you spread it out. Monday, this show, Tuesday show, Wednesday, post-game podcast, maybe an off day on there, Thursday, but Friday, pre-game podcast, Saturday, Rays, Ragers. I mean, we got you covered, guys. So thanks for watching. You guys are fantastic. Let's see. All of you guys are fantastic. I will add in there really quickly that I'm going to start an Orange Weekly official conspiracy theory, and that Bryce Callahan does not exist. That's where I'm going with that. It's official. It's official Orange Weekly conspiracy theory.
Great things come from the show. We got the Mile High salutes when the Broncos decide to win. We've got a conspiracy theory coming out of all this. You even get the best introductions you get throughout the week. So you're welcome for that. As we move on, everyone, again, if you didn't see the comment, we appreciate you sticking with us through our technical difficulties tonight. We promise if you're new, it is usually a lot better. And to prove that, you can check out any of our prior content. But we do appreciate you sticking with us tonight. Feel free to keep posting those questions and comments and thoughts below.
You're going to lose your posting rights.
That's just rude. First of all, you can't even prove it was me. It just showed up there. It could have been any member of our staff that decided to post that. So the fact that you just assume it's me, as true as it is still hurtful. As we move forward, and obviously the way we tend to do things is the After Dark show mainly recaps the game that we just saw, along with our post-game podcast. And as the week moves on, we tend to get a little bit more into the upcoming game. But let's go long, big picture here. Where do you think we go from here? I mean, and I know that's a loaded question, but feel free to touch on what you think about the quarterback situation. Do we keep Flacco? Do we keep Scangarello? What do we do long term as an organization? I mean, if you're LOA and you're trying to keep your job, what are you fixing to fix the long term picture within the next few weeks / this off season?
If I'm Elway and I want to work on keeping my job, number one, get Drew Lock on the field as soon as possible. Get him reps and see if he can continue to improve every game. Let him make his rookie mistakes. That's fine. We're no harm, no foul this season. It's pretty much a freebie for him. Go out there, learn, and basically give us a chance to see if he's a bust or not. If he's a bust, well, this next draft is very quarterback heavy. And let's face it, we're probably going to be in the top 10 picks. So the odds of us being able to get a really, really good quarterback is pretty high if we need it. If Drew Lock looks like he's growing every week, and hey, this could be our guy, we're really confident in saying that, then okay, now we can address other issues. But that's number one. And I'm not happy with Joe Flacco having an injury, but the bright side is put him on IR. Get somebody else on the field, and that's the perfect reason for us to get Drew Lock on the field sooner rather than later. That's what we got to do, and that's really going to shape our entire offseason, I think. If we have to start looking at another quarterback, well, then we're going to have to focus on that. Can't focus so much on these other positions necessarily. But that's probably the big thing. In terms of Scangarello, if we cut him, if we dump him right now, who are we going to get? It's not. I mean, somebody earlier on the show, Eric said the Chargers just let their offensive coordinator go. He has so much experience, but my rebuttal to that is, well, if he has all that experience, why did the Chargers let him go? I don't want to pick up a offensive coordinator in the middle of the season that just got fired. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that stuff happens in the offseason, but let's wait till the offseason where we have more choices. This team just has to find a way to keep improving, little by little. And if we can find a way to be a team that is competitive by the end of the season, well, that's going to set us up for success and momentum to start the next season. But that's a tough thing. And these leaders of the team need to step up and make sure that, they have the coaches' backs. Yeah, they can air out any grievances they have. I don't think a post-game press conference is the way to do it. but they need to be united. You know, you can't have those factions in the locker room. You can't be players versus coaches. I'm not going to sit here and say that Fangio's lost the locker room. I don't believe that's the case. At least not yet. I think Fangio is going to continue to improve, but again, it's just going to. I think our near-term success depends on the success of Drew Lock. If we can build a team around Drew Lock, okay. Now, if we have to start all over again with another quarterback, now you're looking at least an additional year where we're essentially starting over from scratch and building it up from there. So we have a lot there. You know, we do have some pieces. You know, Sutton's looking good. Reisner is the best offensive lineman we have. You know, we need to get rid of Bowles, and if that means we have to draft another left tackle in the first round of the draft, then you know, that's what we got to do because Bowles is a bust. You know, Michael says tank the season, fire the coaches, put Lock in, see what he's got, fix the line. I don't think we're going to tank just to tank. We're not going to fire any coaches, I think, other than Scangarillo. Look, you know, we gave Vance Joseph a whole year, and even I was, you know, kind of standing by him until, you know, through the first third of his second year. At that point, I was like, okay, we're done. But Fangio is not Vance Joseph, and I really think he has really good potential. I like what he's doing with the defense. Dude, there's a lot. I can go on and on, but there's without saying stay the course, we've got to at least stay the course this year and see what we have in Drew Lock. That's probably the most number one thing. Everyone's talking about it, but that's where we're at.
Yeah, I agree, and especially, you know, our Fangio is not going to go anywhere this year. You got to give a coach time to fully set up his culture and his system. And again, he is helping with that defense on that side of the ball. So I don't anticipate him going anywhere, no matter what our record is at the end of the year. And I agree that we need to see Lock and what he's capable of. However, I also agree with Red Cloud that Jalen Hurts would fit well within the system. And so I don't believe that if we go for another quarterback because of how deep this draft is, I don't think that sets us back any further. Because at most we're talking a difference of about 6 games that Drew Lock would have under his belt compared to a different quarterback.
But you're wasting another first round pick. I don't want to say wasting.
Yes and no.
You're not.
I wouldn't say waste. With this, I think if this was any other average year, then yeah, waste. But I think with just how special this draft class is, if we don't think Drew Lock is the answer, I really have no mind. I don't mind going after another quarterback because of how deep this draft is with quarterbacks. I mean, this will probably be the deepest quarterback draft that we have, at least in the next 10 years. And this is a special quarterback draft class. And I agree. Jalen Hurts, he's a special quarterback from what I've seen. He can do a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of discussion with that further down the road as we approach the draft, but I agree. I would not mind Jalen Hurts being a draft pick if that's what we go after. Another question we have from William Dandino. He says we have 4 more 11 a.m. starts. Historically, we lose 11 a.m. start games. Why? I
didn't know we had 4.
That is,
I didn't know.
Historically,
it's on the road where we have problems.
I agree, and I would say that historically, since the Super Bowl, we tend to lose a lot of games. It's not specific to 11 a.m. starts anymore. We're just in a position right now where it's, it's tough to say. There's a lot of factors that go into that. You can talk about traveling, wearing on them. They tend to be road games when it's 11 a.m. Mountain Time start. And that right there, it's harder to win road games than home games in the NFL. That's just the way it is. So there's a lot of reasons it could be, but especially within the last 3 years, we just lose a lot. It doesn't matter what the time is, whether it's prime time or 11 a.m. We tend to lose a lot lately. So it's tough to say what exactly is going on with that. As we start to wrap up, especially with these technical difficulties we have, Kev, why don't you quickly go into the Patreon and what our new viewers or even current viewers who have yet to pull the trigger on it can do with their Patreon and what they might get out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And first off, Richard, yes, I'm in Colorado Springs. Jason's not. I just moved back here. But I also want to say that I just looked up the trends for this show, and our number 1 emoji reaction is a dog. Not a like, not a sad face, angry face. It's a dog emoji. So Emmett has definitely made an impact on this show. He might be the newest member of Orange Weekly, which is fantastic. But yes, Patreon guys, we got another prize drawing coming up here in this next week. I'm not sure what we're giving away yet, but we've given away a Denver Broncos jacket. We've given away a Peyton Manning Super Bowl 50 plaque in the first 2 months. In order to enter into this prize, you go to patreon.com/orangeweekly. It's in the video description up above. If you can't remember that, just go to patreon.com, search for Orange Weekly. It'll show us there. If you donate $1 for 1 month, you not only get entered into that month's prize drawing, but you also get entered into the end of the season prize drawing, grand prize drawing, if you will, as well. So really all you have to donate is for 1 month, and you're entered into both that month's prize and the end of the season. For every month that you do donate, though, you get those additional entries for every month that you donate into the end of the season prize. So I think we're talking about a jersey. We'll see based off how many donors we have. Right now we only have 6, which is fine. But that means that your odds of winning these monthly prizes is pretty good, until we get more and more. So if you want to jump on that, have a good chance to win some of these prizes as we continue to build our Patreon. Now is the time to donate. If you want to be a diehard Orange Weekly fan more than you guys already are, go help us out. Again, that money does not go into our pockets. That money goes straight towards helping us give you guys better content. So we're just finished up buying some mics. We're going to start trying to maybe buy some cameras. It'll help us lead to like buying better computers, so we don't have as many of these technical difficulties and whatnot. So guys, any support, like I said, it's not going to go to us directly. It goes right back towards you guys. And then we give monthly prize drawings on top of that to give back to you guys. So really, you guys are winning more than anything. So that's what we're here for, guys. It's just you guys talk to you, hear what you're thinking, converse with you guys, and just have a good time doing it, even through the technical difficulties. So looks like we're still jumping around a little bit, but you guys are fantastic, and that's just that's it. And I'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time for Beer Broncos, no BS, where I'll be having another one of these Shiner Holiday Cheer beers. They're very tasty.
Holiday cheer. Holiday season's right around the corner.
It's already here.
Speaking of which, one of those giveaways could be the perfect Christmas present for somebody you care deeply about, especially if they are a Raiders fan. Give them the gift of good football material. Out of curiosity, is that football book of yours going to be a giveaway? That could be. We could give that to a.
Let's
Raiders
move on.
No,
Let's move on. Let's move on.
All right.
You're just jealous I know more football than you do. Let's move on.
He's still on chapter 3. He's working through it slowly but surely. So as we start to wrap up, again, a lot of heavy material, a lot to talk about. I feel like we're only able to scratch the surface on a lot of it. But there's just so many talking points at this point. A lot of big headlines, a lot of big issues to address, all of that. But you know what? Let's, especially for you, you tend to be one of the more optimistic, positive guys on the staff. So let's end the show on a positive. Let's hear one thing that you are either impressed by or encouraged by the current Denver Broncos, where they stand today.
Reisner's going to be the piece that we build the offensive line around. Guarantee it. How many times has he picked up Philip Lindsay and thrown him 2 more yards down the field? At least 3. I mean, if you include the touchdown, at least 2 more times other than that. Like, it's fantastic how he just pushes Philip Lindsay, or literally as he's going down, just throws the guy. Dalton Reisner is a huge bright spot on the team. So if you're looking for something positive, man, that is a really good place to start looking.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And
you better.
Yeah, yes. I'm encouraged by the progress of the defense since the first couple of weeks. The first couple of weeks, I was pretty nervous about how this defense would pan out under Fangio and if his system would work in Denver. And I think we've seen a very steady week-to-week improvement from this defense. They're doing their job as much as they can. At this point, I would not mind getting rid of Chris Harris Jr. For a lot of reasons.
So is that going to happen tomorrow or no? Because tomorrow's the deadline.
I haven't heard enough to be encouraged by it, and so I don't think so. Yep. I think we lose him to free agency. But either way, I don't think he's a Denver Broncos for the 2020 season, which I think, and I might get massacred for this one in the comments, but I don't think we'll miss him. I think Justin Simmons is the real deal right now. I think Justin Simmons is the best corner we have. Chris Harris Jr. is aging. He's getting worse. He's given up very big plays at costly times this year. And on top of that, I have not been a fan of how he's gone about things since this offseason and how he's addressed the media. Even this past week, his tweet was, I just got like something along the lines of, all I can do is just keep grinding, which to me is not a very team-oriented mindset. That is a very selfish, I'm just going to do what I can do to get paid the most in 2020. And I'm not a fan of that type of attitude, no matter what the team is doing. So with that all being said, again, mostly encouraged by the defense and how they have improved. So with that, Kevin, any last minute closing thoughts or comments?
Talk about keep grinding it out, guys. Stick with us. We're going to keep grinding it out. Not for any money we're going to make next year. We're going to be here just for you guys. Because here at Orange Weekly, I mean, us guys here at Orange Weekly, we talk Broncos football all the time. And so it's fun to be able to talk to you guys about it. So we're going to be here no matter what. And if you're sticking around watching this show, we have some diehard fans between Red Cloud, Richard. We had Travis earlier. We had some new names tonight with Larry. Some other names on the watch party I have going on. Tony, man, we got a lot of diehard fans that will just sit down and watch our shows. And that's just fun to see. Andrew Workman, who's one of our Patreon donors. Dude, it's fun to see how this is growing. And yeah, guys, just closing thoughts for me is keep watching the games. They may hurt, but again, when the Broncos do get back on top, and we'll get back there. It's going to feel a whole lot better knowing that you sat through and watched this stuff. And we're going to be here for you through the good and the bad. And we just appreciate you guys watching and being a part of this with us.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate all of you guys. Again, this whole operation was made for you fans to help engage with and discuss Denver Bronco football through, like Kevin said, the good years as well as the bad. Things go in cycles. Even the Browns are a decent team at this point. So there's always hope. There's always hope for us. We'll get there, hopefully sooner rather than later, but we will get there. And when the team is there, we will still be here with you guys most days, if not every day of the week by now. I think we're missing the Friday content. Do we have something coming out Fridays?
The pregame podcast. Thursdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are one real day off.
All right. So tell you what, if you guys even want to help out, shoot us a message. If you have an idea for a Thursday content show, it'd be awesome. We'll consider it going into next year. Looking for more help anyways, I believe, Kevin, for next year, not immediate, but as we try to roll out more content for you fans, as we also get hopefully some money to help spur some more things that we can able to do for you all. So with that being said, guys, again, thank you so much for all your time and your viewing. And for those who have donated, you guys are top-notch, true Denver Broncos fans, and we do truly appreciate you as well. So with that, stay positive. We got the Browns coming up next. We got a lot of content coming your way this week, so tune in. We won't have technical difficulties the rest of the week, so stay tuned with all that. In the meantime, hang tough, and hey, as always, go Broncos.
Go Broncos. Take care, guys.